In 2014, one movie sparked international chaos, cyber attacks, and even threats of war. A comedy of all things. The Interview wasn't just a film, it was a political weapon. A movie so dangerous it almost didn't exist. But how did it get here? And what happens when a film makes governments tremble? This is the story of the movie that was too dangerous to exist. Released in December 2014, The Interview was a satirical comedy starring Seth Rogen and James Franco, where they play journalists hired to assassinate North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. On paper, it seemed like just another absurd comedy from Rogen and Franco. But what no one expected was the global firestorm it would cause. Before the movie even hit theaters, North Korea condemned it as an act of war and warned of grave consequences. But this wasn't just typical outrage. This was something much darker. North Korea made it clear, if this film was released, there would be serious repercussions. But who could have predicted what would happen next? In November 2014, Sony Pictures, the studio behind The Interview, became the target of a devastating cyber attack. A hacker group calling themselves Guardians of Peace infiltrated Sony's servers, stealing thousands of emails, personal information, and confidential scripts. The hack wasn't just about stealing data. It was a direct message to Sony, telling them to pull the movie. And the hackers weren't finished yet. The hackers threatened that any theater showing the movie would be attacked. Imagine that. A comedy film so controversial, it triggered one of the most infamous cyber attacks in history. The threat of violence was so real that major theater chains like AMC and Regal chose to cancel screenings of the film. It was unprecedented. A movie, just a movie, had shut down entire theaters. People were baffled. How could a film about an assassination attempt on a dictator create this much fear? Was it really worth all this chaos? The situation was escalating fast. The US government quickly stepped in. President Obama himself blamed North Korea for the cyber attack and called for the movie to be released despite the threats. He publicly criticized Sony, saying that giving into censorship would be a dangerous precedent. But Sony had a choice to make. In the end, Sony made a bold decision. Instead of traditional theater releases, they dropped The Interview digitally on services like Google Play and YouTube Movies. Within the first few days, it made over $40 million in digital sales, one of the most successful digital movie releases ever. The public responded. People weren't just curious about the film anymore, they were passionate. This wasn't just about entertainment, it was about free speech and fighting censorship. The impact of The Interview didn't stop there. North Korea denied involvement in the hack, but US officials were certain. In retaliation, the US launched cyber attacks on North Korea's internet infrastructure, effectively taking down their websites for days. The Interview became more than just a comedy. It was a symbol of how far the reach of movies can go and how powerful entertainment can be. The film may have been an absurd farce, but it sparked real-world consequences. It became a story of censorship, free speech, and the lengths some would go to keep control. So, was it just a movie, or was it something much more? Let me know your thoughts below, and don't forget to subscribe for more wild stories from the world of entertainment and beyond.